We're raising the weakest generation of men in human history. Not because of genetics, but because we've forgotten how to be biological males. That's exactly where I was in my 20s. I was tired, inflamed, overweight, 300 pounds overweight, and mentally stuck even though I thought I was doing everything right. So even though I was 26, I went to see the first longevity doctor in Silicon Valley. I knew him because my parents saw him. And when he saw my lab tests, he said, "Dave, your testosterone is lower than your mother." And he said, "Let's treat it." He said, "You can go on injections, but you may have to take these forever. Or you could just accept having man boobs, being fat, and tired all the time." And well, I said, okay. And I went on testosterone therapy, and it changed my life. And there's a good chance that you might need testosterone because we set the world up that way. But you might decide to hack your biology instead, and to do that first so that you don't need testosterone as soon as you're going to need it. And let's be clear, if you want to live a very long time, once you hit your mid-40s, you're probably going to need testosterone if you're a man and you're alive. Today, the calendar thinks I'm 52. My lab tests think I'm 35, but my testosterone levels are higher now than they were when I was 25. And in this video, I'm going to show you 3 of the biggest levers you can pull to raise your testosterone naturally, and what to do without injections to raise your testosterone to get it to the point that you show up in your life the way you want to. And this is because testosterone controls dopamine, and dopamine controls your motivation to do things that matter in the world. But when it comes to testosterone, most men don't realize when it starts. There's a small dip in energy, the extra stubborn fat, the love handles, the fading drive in the gym. You go to the gym, it just doesn't work as well as it did before. And in the bedroom. We blame getting older. Our doctors tell us it's normal, it's stress. But that's not real. The belief that testosterone must go down with age is outdated, and it's false. Big Pharma has conditioned you to expect weakness and fatigue in your 40s and 50s. But testosterone is declining faster than it ever has in history. In the 1980s, the average 40-year-old man had testosterone levels about 15 to 20% higher than a man of the same age today. Another report from 2020 found that 10 to 40% of adult males have testosterone deficiency, and the number is only increasing. These were healthy, non-obese men, and the researchers tested them under the same lab standards. So what changed? Your environment and your lifestyle. Here's what's killing your testosterone every single day. You heat your lunch in plastic containers, releasing chemicals that mimic estrogen. You stay up scrolling your phone, flooding your brain with blue light that blocks melatonin. You drink tap water loaded with birth control hormones that cities can't filter out. You use scented detergent, cologne, and air fresheners packed with hormone disruptors. You sit in traffic breathing exhaust fumes. You eat food wrapped in plastic. You shower with fluoride and chlorine. You sleep next to a Wi-Fi router. Each of these things seems harmless, but together, it is the perfect stack to slowly castrate you. But testosterone decline doesn't have to be inevitable. It's optional. When you fix your inputs, your biology responds fast because it wants to thrive. I've seen men in their 50s double their free testosterone in a few months by correcting just a few core areas without using any drugs or TRT. They're just focused on feeding the body what it evolved to expect. Your body makes testosterone in tiny factories called Leydig cells that live in your testicles. Think of them like little testosterone production plants, each one smaller than a grain of sand, but powerful enough to change your entire life. These microscopic factories don't wear out with age, they get poisoned. When you expose them to chemicals, stress hormones, and inflammatory foods, it's like throwing sand in the gears of a perfect machine. The factory's still there, but the assembly line stops working. The number one way to jam these cells is through inflammation, nutrient deficiency, and disrupted sleep cycles. But men try to fix this with more workouts and supplements while their diet is quietly destroying your hormones from the inside out. Your Leydig cells need specific raw materials to build testosterone, and the most important one is cholesterol, the thing mainstream media told you was dangerous. It's literally the building blocks for your most important male hormone. These cells convert cholesterol into testosterone through a process that requires fats, vitamin D, that's vitamins D, A, K2, and E, and minerals like zinc and magnesium. If you don't feed them the right materials, your body can't manufacture the hormone no matter how hard you train. Trying more doesn't work. So before you do anything else, the first step is to fix what you're eating. When I switched to a high saturated fat, anti-inflammatory diet that prioritized nutrient-dense animal foods, my testosterone shot up, and so did my energy, strength, and mental sharpness. And that diet has helped millions of people lose millions of pounds. It works. It's called the bulletproof diet. Eat more saturated fat. Grass-fed beef, pasteurized eggs, raw cheese, grass-fed butter, and ghee are all foundational. Your hormones depend on fat, the right kinds of fat. Eliminate seed oils like canola, soybean, safflower, and corn oil. Those are inflammatory, they're estrogenic, and they're destructive to cellular membranes. You can trash them. And if you're still counting calories or avoiding fat to stay lean, you're trading your testosterone for an outdated model of fitness. No matter how much fitness influencers yell about it, it's not real. The men who win in their 40s and 50s and beyond are the ones who eat to fuel their biology. And strangely, today, because our young men have old men level of testosterone unless they do something about it, they're also benefiting. So once you fix your diet, you can track your progress by doing these. First, get your baseline labs. You need to know your total testosterone, your free testosterone, your SHBG, and your estradiol levels. If your free testosterone is low, but your total testosterone looks fine, something is clogging the system. Your normal doctor probably won't give you a testosterone test or won't order the right one and won't know how to interpret it for longevity and performance versus making you look average. Right now, average means low testosterone. You don't want that. I get my lab tests from one of my companies called Axo Health, AXO.health. However you get it, measure your testosterone. Second, track your morning kickstand. Yes, really. It's a direct signal from your endocrine system that your testosterone is functioning. Third, track your energy, drive, and mood. Testosterone isn't about just changing your body. It changes your ambition. Now that your hormonal building blocks are in place, let's go deeper. Because even if you're eating like a king, your testosterone won't rise if you're skipping the next piece. And it costs close to nothing. See, one night of poor sleep can drop your testosterone by 15%. After a week, you're running on fumes. The irony is that most men who want to optimize will hit the gym harder and buy testosterone boosters while still sacrificing sleep like it's a badge of honor. I used to be one of them. Burning the candle at both ends and in the middle, crushing productivity with any coffee I could get and willpower. But no matter how dialed in my diet or training was, my blood work told the truth. My T levels were stuck. Then I committed to deep restorative sleep, and it changed everything. Your body releases testosterone in pulses during REM and deep sleep. That means the quality of your sleep, not just the number of hours, directly dictates how much testosterone your body produces. And once I got my diet dialed in, I prioritized my sleep environment and my rhythms. Even though I went off of testosterone replacement therapy, I was able to get my testosterone levels up to 700. This stuff works. However, 700 isn't enough, not for my biology. And I'm happy to be on testosterone replacement therapy today, and I think it changed my life, and I wouldn't be here today without it. And evidence shows that if you go on testosterone replacement, especially if your levels are low and you're aging, you will live longer and reduce your risk of all sorts of health problems. But in the meantime, do all the things that raise your natural production. Here's how you can do it. First, get to sleep before 10 p.m. Testosterone production ramps up during your early night sleep cycles. Going to bed at midnight will savage your testosterone levels. Late nights disrupt the entire cascade. Second, black out your room. Light, especially white light or blue light, suppresses melatonin, which interferes with deep sleep and hormone signaling. You want as close to pitch black as you can get. And third, drop the temperature. Your body needs to cool down to hit deep sleep. A hot bedroom's like putting your hormones in a sauna and asking them to perform. And this is really important. Kill screens an hour before bed. And if you must look at them, dim the screen as much as you can and make it red, or use the True Dark glasses, a special kind of glasses that will protect your eyes from the type of light that ruins your testosterone. Avoiding screens before bed is hard for high performers, but the ROI is massive. Use that time for reading, using red light, or journaling. Dim light is critical for an hour before bed. If you have to look at a screen in the evening for any reason, do what I do. Use glasses that filter out all of the types of light that suppress sleep quality and testosterone. It's not just blue light. Anytime I'm going to be in a bright environment after the sun goes down, I switched to glasses from my company called TrueDark. Studies show that they change your brainwaves so you can calm down and get ready for sleep. You just need to understand that sleep isn't a luxury, and even 10 seconds of bright light from staring at your phone screen or going to the bathroom can ruin your testosterone production and your sleep for the entire night. Light and dark control your body's hormonal operating system. When you prioritize it, you build your biology at the cellular level. Every night becomes a free, pharmaceutical-grade hormone therapy session. You could eat clean, sleep like a king, and train hard, but you could still be unknowingly ignoring one of the most powerful testosterone boosters available to men today. It doesn't come in a bottle. It comes from your nervous system. See, if your light environment is wrong, your testosterone will stay low. Light is not just something you see. It's something your biology responds to. Every morning, your eyes and your skin send a signal to your brain that tells it whether to produce testosterone or to shut it down. Most men are unknowingly bathing in the wrong light all day. Blue light from screens, fluorescent lights overhead, LED lights at night. It's an assault on your endocrine system. And the worst part is that artificial light suppresses melatonin at night and disrupts cortisol rhythms during the day. You get those two knocked out of sync, testosterone will tank. But with the right light at the right time, you can flip the switch the other way. That's because testosterone production is tied directly to your circadian rhythm, which is governed by your exposure to natural light, especially in the morning. When you get real sunlight within the first 30 minutes of waking, you stimulate the SCN in your brain. That triggers a hormonal cascade. Cortisol rises as it should in the morning, dopamine spikes, and your body starts building testosterone. If you don't control the light entering your body, you're letting your environment decide your hormones for you, and you are not in a natural environment. And no doctor is going to warn about this, but your biology already is. I have tested this myself, and I've seen it work. Morning sun is like a hormonal on switch, and consistent light hygiene can make a bigger difference in your T levels than most supplements. Here's how to use light to trigger testosterone. First, get 5 to 10 minutes of natural sunlight within 30 minutes of waking. No sunglasses, let your retina receive the signal. This starts your hormonal clock for the day. Next, expose your skin to the sun for 15 to 20 minutes daily. That triggers vitamin D synthesis, which is important for testosterone. You also want to avoid artificial light at night. Use warm, red lights after sunset and dim them as much as you can. Dim your screens or wear TrueDark glasses if you have to work late. TrueDark glasses are not just blue blocking glasses. Blue blocking glasses in the evening aren't enough, and they're not just red. It's stacked optical filters. It's called TrueDark. And again, you've got to sleep in darkness. Even that little LED in the corner of the bedroom can suppress melatonin and throw off your testosterone rhythm. Your bedroom should be pitch black. Your testosterone's either rising or falling right now. There's no neutral. Every choice you make today, what you eat for lunch, whether you get morning sun, how late you stay up scrolling, it's either building your hormones or breaking them down. And the men who understand this become unstoppable. The men who don't become forgotten. Which one will you be? Even after you do all these things, you may find that, like me, your testosterone levels are not where they need to be. Maybe it's genetic, maybe it's stuff that happened to your health when you were a kid. I've been on testosterone therapy the vast majority of my life after age 26. I've learned how to naturally move my testosterone up into low normal, even though I've been on testosterone therapy for many years when I learned to do that. This is important because some people, fearmongers, will tell you, if you go on testosterone, you have to be on it for life. This is not true. What I want you to do is to decide that you're going to prioritize all the lifestyle changes in this video and see what happens to your testosterone. You can measure it now. Go to axo.health, axo.health. You can get a test or get it wherever you like to get it. And if your levels are low, or if you're over 40 and taking care of yourself doesn't raise your levels, and it may not because there's plastic, because there's all sorts of things you can't control, the odds are that if you want to thrive in the world we've built, today's world, you will need testosterone replacement therapy. There's no harm in doing it. In fact, it reduces all-cause mortality risk in men who go on it when they start losing testosterone, which happens around age 40, or quite often way before that. If you want to go on testosterone, the old way is you inject yourself a couple times a week, which sucks. And I have done that for more than 20 years. What I do now that is really incredible is I track my levels using Axo Health, and I take testosterone pills. These just became available, and it is game-changing because now you just take them like another supplement and your testosterone levels will go up, and they'll go up at the right time of day. This new form of testosterone is called testosterone undecanoate, and Kysotrex is the name brand. If you want to get it, it's normally a pain. You got to go to your doctor, and your doctor says you don't need a testosterone test, and your doctor doesn't know what this stuff is because it just got created. Or you could just automate the entire process. Go to daveasprey.com/testosterone, and I'll hook you up with a clinic that can write you your script, and they can just have it sent to your house. So every morning you take 2 pills, at lunch you take 2 more pills, and then you have testosterone like a man should. It's absolutely so much easier than injecting. And keep doing all the good stuff I just taught you. Eat the high fat, do all the things to support yourself and give yourself an extra benefit. This is a completely new level and just a new evolution in testosterone replacement. I recommend taking care of your body and replacing testosterone as long as your labs tell you you need it.